my name is Maulana and I'm from University of Mataram. Today I'm going to explain about my research. The topic of my research is about some characteristic of a prime graph of Zn. The reason why I chose this topic is because graph theory can be used to represent some topics in abstract algebra like group and ring. For example, in 2019, Juliana and Wardana researched about characteristic of zero divisor graph, and in 2020, Fatahillah and Switraini also researched about characteristic of zero divisor graph, but in the polynomial ring. Back to 2010, the notion of prime graph of a ring is firstly introduced by Bavanari, Kuncham, and Dasari. And in 2019, Maulana and Switraini researched about the number of spanning trees of variable graph. This research begins with literature study. We study about some theory that can help us in this topic, especially graph theory and ring theory. For the first result, we have first theorem. If PGZN is the prime graph of ring Zn, then for all n the following conditions are held. The maximum degree of vertices in PGZN is n-1, and the minimum degree of vertices in PGZN is 1, and the diameter of PGZN is 2. As a consequence of the first theorem, we have if PGZN is a prime graph of ring Zn, then H connectivity of PGZN is equal to the vertex connectivity, and they are all equal to 1. For the next theorem, if ZZN is a set of all unordered pairs of AB with A and B is two distinct elements of Zn, A and B is non-zero element such that A dot B is equal to 0, then the minimum number of triangles of PGZN is equal to the cardinality of ZZN. The theorem number 3, PGZN is not Hamiltonian for any n. And the next theorem, similar to theorem number 3, if PGZN is not Eulerian, PGZN is not Eulerian for any n. And for the last theorem, PGZN is a prime graph of ring Zn, then PGZN is k-parted graph with k less than n minus pn and greater than 2. This is an illustration of prime graph of ring Z6. As you can see, there is no closed trail in this graph, so PGZ6 is not an Eulerian graph, and there is no cycle in this graph that can passes all vertices in this graph, so this graph is not a Hamiltonian graph. And this table is about the number of spanning trees in sum of PGZN from PGZ4 to PGZ35. And this is the end of my presentation. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you.